Alright, Akim, Shalom, Shalom, all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Hawashai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the elders of Great Millstone, for teaching us his truth. Salutations to the sincere Akim and Aquath that may listen. May the blessing of election be upon your house. My name is Brother Raquai, and back in here with another quick and Lord's will, as always, an edifying lesson. And for today's lesson, I kind of just wanted to touch on this brief sentence here. It says, I have not coveted no man's silver or gold. And this is one of the precepts that I was reading in the book of Acts. And I kind of just wanted to share a little bit about that sentiment, because what really stood out to me was the fact that we echo that same sentiment, starting with our apostles and the elders, on down, because, a lot of the understanding, the mysteries, the videos, breakdowns, classes, so on and so forth, all these different mediums of us actually using to essentially edify, like it says in Ephesians 4, for the edification of the saints. A lot of that is not, we don't charge for any of these things, right? We don't actually, put a value on it per se. We don't ask essentially for your we're not charging for the breakdowns per se, because these are things and mysteries that were opened up to us and given to us freely. So freely we've received it, and freely we're giving it, because you have a lot of our people, essentially, especially Israelites that know that they are Israelites, they put a value onto the understanding that was bestowed upon them, right? So what I wanted to do, I just wanted to grab a couple of precepts in regards to this, and Lord's will is always, this would be edifying, right? So let me start off. I want to start off with one of my favorite precepts here, and so let me just go to Isaiah. Okay, this is Isaiah 55 verse 1, and it says, Ho, everyone that thirsteth, come ye to the waters, and ye that hath no money, come ye, buy and eat. Come, buy wine and milk without money and without price. Wherefore do ye spend money for which is not bread, and your labor which satisfieth not? Hearken diligently unto me, and eat ye which is good. So we're eating this understanding, essentially with our minds. We're not actually, eating bread and having wine and milk and money. These are all, symbolic, because, these are things that we do, with our minds. We're digesting this wisdom. It says in Ezekiel, to eat the whole roll, right? So, we're feasting on this, this meal, with this understanding, and then essentially what happens it's allowing our souls to become fattened. The Paul says, and let the words of Hamashiach Yahushai dwell within you richly. And our people are in a very impoverished state, first and foremost in the spirit, and it's playing out in the physical. That's why a lot of our people, they tend to essentially try and show off their quote-unquote riches, because they're lacking in the spirit. They're lacking riches and substance, understanding their own history, their own heritage. They're lacking a lot of these things spiritually. So in order to compensate, they will show it off carnally, right? They would show it off, what do the musicians talk about and rap about? They're making music about things that are carnal. And they're making music and showing off their riches, so to speak. It shows that, they're insecure. They don't have, they don't have a gift of faith. And on top of that, they don't have a rich relationship with Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, right? So, let me read verse 2 again, and it says, Wherefore do ye spend money for which is not bread, and your labor that which satisfieth not? Right? So, when you think about it, a lot of our people, and in this side of the world, for example, college education, university education, those two are held in very, very high regard. Like if you have a university education, if you have like a PhD or a master's, these things, these accolades, so to speak, are held in very, very high regard, right? And people spend thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars to try and acquire a diploma or acquire a degree or so on and so forth. And at the end of it, they might have their, whether it's their nice job, their nice white collar job, nice house, white picket fence, nice blonde wife with the with the Dalmatian dog or something like that, and they still don't have an understanding of who they are and why they're in the condition that they're in. What's their heritage, their history of their forefathers, what happened. They don't have the understanding of any of these things, right? So this is what I'm kind of referring to. They spend all this money, and then to lead it to you not having any substance spiritually, right? So it says, hearken diligently unto me, and eat that which is good, and let your soul delight itself in fatness. Verse 3, and it says, incline your ear and come unto me, and your soul shall live. I will make an everlasting covenant with you, even the sure mercies of David, right? So it shows you that, we're in a condition, where we need mercy. That's why we're hearkening diligently unto Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, right? In Baruch it says, turn thou, O Jacob, so thou mayest be illuminated, right? Given this understanding, but our people essentially, they because this world is engulfed in gross darkness, they think that, they have, they think that their own accolades are essentially they think that their own accolades essentially satisfy them, that give them essentially what they need. But like in Romans, it also says that the election have obtained it, and then the rest were blinded, right? So, kind of going back a little bit more to the point, we don't charge a lot for this understanding that we bring out. Like, brothers, you have apostles, the elders, brothers, bishops, making constant lots of videos, every single day, giving this understanding, prayers, herbs, history, politics, prophecy, especially prophecy, and things that are about to come upon this planet, all these different avenues, all of that is freely being given to the people of our own nation. But the people of our nation, they would rather scoff at it. They're rather they're not satisfied with this information, and on top of that, they're not even satisfied. Not that it makes a difference, but the point I'm really trying to hit is the fact they're not satisfied with the how the message is delivered, or even how the messenger actually looks, because our people are extremely carnal rather than actually taking in the message, right? So went a little bit off on a tangent there, but I'll hopefully this continues to be edifying. Let me just get the account really quickly. Let me get Acts. Just bear with me on this. Because you have a lot of camps that charge for understanding and so on and so forth. This is the book of Acts, chapter 20, verse 28, and it reads, Take heed therefore unto yourselves and to all the flock which the Holy Spirit hath made you overseers, to feed the church of the Most High, which hath purchased with his own blood. For I know this, that after my departing shall grievous wolves enter in among you, and not sparing the flock. Also of your own selves shall men arise, speaking perverse things, right? So now you have, I think it's IUIC speaking something folly about speaking some folly in regards to the MOTB, right? So, it shows you, that which is then is now, and that there's no new thing under the sun. So, continuing on, it says, to draw away disciples after them. And I did a lesson recently in regards to a commercial they put out, and it shows you, they strongly care a lot about numbers, and that's a very, very dangerous mindset, because you'll get a lot of people who would essentially, like the point I'm trying to bring out, would use this word essentially to make money, for filthy lucre, like the scriptures talk about, right? And that's not the spirit we come in, right? But John the Baptist talked about bringing forth fruits meet for repentance, right? So, continuing on, it says, therefore, watch and remember that the space of the 3 years I cease not to warn everyone night and day with tears. And now, brethren, I commend you to the Most High, and to the word of his grace, which is able to build you up and give you an inheritance among all them which are sanctified. Verse 33, this is the point. Well, this is not the point, but this is part of the point. And it says, verse 33, I have coveted no man's silver or gold or apparel. In the AMP it says, I had no desire for anyone's silver or expensive clothes, right? So we're not in that spirit of, like, for example, we put out a lesson, and there's a link to send me a donation, send me a $5 donation to my PayPal or something like that. Like, we're not in that spirit, right? Because we understand what's this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding has been freely given to us, and we freely give it to those who need it. Verse 34, and it says, yea, ye yourselves know that these hands of mine have ministered unto my necessities, and to them that were with me, right? Because when you go back to the 18th chapter, Paul worked, as a tent maker, right? So, and that is the same very spirit, we echo to this day, because, each of us brothers, we have our own jobs, and if there is something that is needed in the camp, then, we put our heads together, and, we, like, especially like in my camp specifically, like if we need, like a camera or some kind of recording equipment or some type of anything to kind of improve, I don't want to say like basically improve the function and the quality of the camp, any equipment that we need. One of the things we'll do, we'll kind of essentially put our heads together, and then we'll supply what we need, right? But instead of other camps look at that carnally, and they would kind of ridicule us, for doing things like that, and call us bums, and our garments are not fancy, and so on and so forth. Like, we're not lazy. That's one of the things too. We have our our own day jobs, right? Some brothers work in the morning, afternoon, evening, and we still come out and actually preach this word, right? The scriptures talk about wisdom crieth without, and she uttereth her voice in the chief places of concourse. So we're still there in season and out of season, right? That is the mentality. We adopt these same mentalities to this day, right? The things that are written aforetime were written for our learning, and these are the habits that we embody, going back to Yahushua and our forefathers and so on and so forth. I'll read that again, verse 34. Ye yourselves know that these hands of mine have ministered unto my necessities, and to them that are with me. verse 35, and it says, I have showed you all things, how that so laboring ye ought to support the weak, right? And because it says in also Luke, and that's one of the reasons, we have a strong diligence also, because the scriptures talk about, when thou art converted, strengthen thy brethren, right? So, there are things, brothers have their own talents in certain things, and they use that for the for the edification of the body, right? They might be more skilled in particular avenues, right? It says to remember the words of the Lord Yahushua, how he said, it is more blessed to give than to receive, right? So, we're giving, and when we're giving from a place of abundance, right? Because we want the Lord to remember us, in times to come, right? Let's go to Hebrews. Okay, Hebrews 6 and 10, and it says, for the Most High Yahweh Bashmel Shai is not unrighteous to forget your work and labor of love, which ye have showed towards his name, in that ye have ministered to the saints and do minister. And one of the most important, impactful, high value traits we can do is to essentially we have the mindset and embody the mindset of a servant. And that's kind of what minister, that's what it means to minister, is to serve. Let me see if I can get the word here. Okay, so it says diakoni. Let me see.
Strong's G 1247. Diakoneo. Diakoneo.
Diakoneo. And it says to be a servant, attendant, domestic, to serve, minister to one, to be served, ministered unto, to wait at a table, and offering food and drink to the guests. Right, so it says to minister, supply food and necessities, and that kind of goes back to the first scripture I brought out. We're serving this food, we're serving this wine, milk, honey, good dainties, for your soul to delight itself in fatness, right? So, it also says here to relieve one's necessities by collecting alms, provide, take care of, distribute the things necessary to sustain life, right? So this is what we're speaking. We're speaking, life. What is spoken in the world and produced in the world is it promotes us. It promotes death. It's against life, So, anyways, that's kind of pretty much what I kind of just wanted to hit right there. I didn't really want to make the lesson too long, but it's just to echo that same sentiment. We don't essentially, we supply our own necessities, and we don't charge a lot for the understanding, that has been, freely given to us. We don't have that mentality. As a matter of fact, let me keep quoting it. Matthew 10 and 8, and it says, I'll start at verse 7, and it says, And as ye go, preach, saying, the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Heal the sick, cleanse the lepers, raise the dead, cast out devils. Freely ye have received, freely give, right? So that's the mentality, we adopt, right? So anyways, I guess I'll just leave it there, but I didn't want to make the lesson too long, but hopefully this lesson was edifying. Just like to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bashemel Shai. Until next time, Shalom.